I think once USF saw the success it was having in 2025, you knew that Alex Golesh was going to leave. You just knew that's what was going to happen. And that's part of being a group of five team, unfortunately, is that when you have success, your coach is probably going somewhere else. Power four teams are going to scoop them up, whether it's as a coordinator, as a head coach. You're going to have opportunities. And that's just kind of being a group of part of being a group of five team. You're just going to have those types of problems. You're just going to see that your head coach is going to go somewhere else. And until college football kind of sorts itself out, that's just how it's going to be. And that's probably always how it's going to be if you're USF. There are other programs that are going to be more attractive for your head coach at some point, and that just is what it is. But still, it's been a fun year for the Bulls. It's been a really fun season and full of exciting players, explosive players, and you can at least enjoy what you had this season. But it's time to look at who's going to take over for him. This is an exciting time. You can make it a disappointing time. Obviously, it is disappointing to see him leave, but you can also look at it as it's an exciting time to get someone else in and continue that success. There's no saying that you have to take a step back. You don't have to struggle. You can continue winning. There's no rule against having success under a new regime. So let's take a look at who could potentially be guys that take over for Alex Golesh. The first guy, not even necessarily in any order, but Charles Huff to me is someone who is not getting talked about enough. He's a great recruiter. He knows how to use the transfer portal. He's won at the two stops he's been at now. Marshall first, Southern Miss next, and those are two programs that at times have struggled to win football games. And you look at what he's been able to do, I think that he's a better fit than a lot of people realize. Again, the recruiting part of it is really what makes him so good. He is very good at talent development. He is very good, or I should actually say, talent identification. He understands who is a good player, who's going to fit his culture, and then developing it from there. He's done a good job of elevating certain players. He also has embraced the transfer portal. He knows what players are good in the transfer. Again, talent identification. He knows what players in the portal fit his culture, fit his system the best, and he's going to be good at that. USF is looking for a guy that's probably going to have to deal with the transfer portal, bringing in new talent, bringing in new faces. And Charles Huff is someone who maybe doesn't necessarily get high on this list, but he is someone that could potentially be a great fit for the Bulls. Now, if you're looking for a guy who's a proven offensive mind that is looking to continue the explosive play of this group, Sean Lewis is another guy to keep an eye on. Now, yes, his offense this year has not been the most explosive. However, he has shown that he can be adaptable to whatever personnel he has. He's going to bring in the right guys. He's going to bring in guys that fit his culture, fit his system. But if you look at his track record, his long term track record, that's a guy who knows what he's doing offensively. And with the amount of talent that would be around him, he is someone that would be a good fit for USF. You look at the talent that is just in the state, he does not have to travel super far. He can use the transfer portal, which he has shown that he can do at San Diego State. He would be a good fit, even if he's necessarily, or not necessarily, the most ideal candidate for anybody or anybody that's putting a list of guys together. He's probably not going to be high on a lot of people's list, but he is someone who knows what he is doing. Ricky Ronnie is another guy. USF, like I said, is going to have to deal with the transfer portal. That's just part of being USF. You lost a lot of talent to the portal. Alex Golesh knew that he had to replace certain talented players. Sean Lewis is a guy that knows how to do that. Ricky Ronnie is a guy who knows how to do that as well. Ronnie's rosters at Old Dominion have been depleted up until this year. And even this year, there were a number of big names that departed. But his teams were just ravaged by the transfer portal. And all he did was go in the portal himself, identify high school recruiting players that'd be able to bring them in and develop them. And this year, you saw what happens when he doesn't have to rebuild his entire roster, rebuild his entire two deep. He's had success this year because he's finally been able to keep a lot of his guys, which with the group of five, you're only going to have so many resources. And if USF can have more resources for him, Ricky Ronnie is a great offensive mind. He knows how to build his roster, and he's someone that I would keep an eye on for this as well. Now, if they're looking to give someone their first time head coaching job, Buster Faulkner is someone who should be high on their list. Great offensive mind, really understands what to do with his personnel. He understands how to gain advantages with anybody that he puts on the field. Great play caller, great offensive mind. It's just that he'd be a first time head coach. Is that something that USF wants to give him? Do they want to give him that opportunity, or do they want someone who's more proven? That's going to be a big question for this team. That is something they are going to have to consider, and something that will be interesting to pay attention to with this coaching search. Now, another guy to keep an eye on, Shannon Dawson. Done a great job at Miami, clearly knows how to use his personnel as a play caller, going to be on lists for head coaching opportunities. He's a little bit more familiar now with the Miami area, the state of Florida, so you could keep him in the state, give him a head coaching opportunity. That is another name to keep an eye on. Now, there's two names in Conference USA that I thought could be ready to take the next step up into the American. Tyson Helton at Western Kentucky has done a great job with players that nobody's ever heard of. Nobody really knows who these Western Kentucky players are unless you're a diehard college fantasy football player. Tyson Helton has done more with less, and then you give him the opportunity to have more talent. What could he do with that? And again, if you're looking for an exciting offense to watch, Tyson Helton and what he's done in Western Kentucky could be a name to keep an eye on. Ryan Beard at Missouri State. Their first year as an FBS program, they're going to a bowl game. I talked about Missouri State coming into the season and how they could have success, compete for a Conference USA championship, and they have done exactly that. Ryan Beard is someone who has a great experience, has a good lineage. He's learned from a lot of good coaches, good offensive minds, and has done a great job at Missouri State. Is he ready to take that next step? We'll see. I think that he could be a good fit for USF. He knows what he's doing. It's just a matter of if USF agrees. Now, if they want to go internal, they could do that as well. Cody Burns has done a great job as offensive coordinator. Who knows whether or not he's going to stay or if he's going to follow Golesh. We'll see. But that's another name to keep an eye on. Two other names, maybe a little bit more controversial. Hugh Freeze is probably looking to still be a head coach at some point. I don't necessarily know who's going to give him out that opportunity. And again, with him getting fired at Auburn, maybe it's a sign that it's just time for him to go. I don't necessarily know who's going to give him. Maybe USF will be in the running for that, but he didn't just lose everything. He's just in a tough situation at Auburn, I think, but he'll get an opportunity from somebody. It might be USF. Another guy that you can keep an eye on, Bobby Petrino, Arkansas interim head coach, has a little bit of a controversial past. If you're willing to look past that or just move on from it, or you ask him about it, whatever you need to do to be comfortable with this. USF obviously is going to do its homework on whoever they hire. Bobby Petrino is a great offensive mind. He has experience as a head coach. Maybe USF is willing to get him depending on the price. We will see. But again, this list tells you that they have options. When you're in the American, you will have a lot of exciting options. You'll have plenty of candidates to choose from. That's going to be a really exciting time. And again, it's all about how you look at it. Yes, it's disappointing that Alex Golesh is gone, but you do have opportunities to hire someone to keep that success going, compete for American Conference titles, and build towards a bright future in South Florida.